Today on the Transplant Helper, I'm going to be sharing with you a first-of-its-kind COVID risk calculator made possible by the Cleavland Clinic. Stay tuned.
Hit the subscribe button and the bell notification to become part of the Transplant Helper community.
Hey folks, welcome back to the Transplant Helper again today. My name is Jim Merle, and if you're like I am, there have at least been a few moments in the last 2 years, probably much more than a few, where you've been really concerned about your potential risk for catching the COVID-19 virus, whether it's the original variant of it or even all the way down to Delta, Omicron, whatever else has been out there. If you're like I am, there have been at least times when it's sweeping through your communities when you've been a little bit concerned about your potential for catching or testing positive. And even more than that, your potential for having a terrible outcome if and when you do, just because you're a transplant/immunosuppressed patient. So the Cleavland Clinic has actually put out a very handy tool that I stumbled across today when I was doing research on something totally different, but it actually allows you to fill out a small form with just a tiny bit of information that will actually help to show you those potential risks. I'm going to take you over to my computer screen right now, and I'm going to show you exactly what that is. Now, the very first page I went over to was consult qd.clevelandclinic.org. And as I was reading the article here, it says the first of its kind COVID risk calculator helps to predict the likelihood of testing positive and the potential disease outcomes. Now, I won't read the article. You can read it for yourself, but you'll scroll down to about the second little section here, develop using the COVID-19 patient registry, that heading right there. Within that heading, there's a link to the online risk calculator. So we're going to go ahead and click over that. I've already got that one open here, and it takes you directly to the calculator itself. Right here at the top, predict COVID-19 test results. So this is without even being tested, just sitting at home, hopefully doing very well, not having any issues. You can actually predict the likelihood of you being tested positive. So I'm going to go ahead and fill this information out. For me, it just happens to be my age, which I am 46 and proud to be. I am white, I guess you would call it. I am non-Hispanic. In my case, I am male. Smoking, I've never smoked in my life, so that's not an issue there. My BMI, I'm not exactly sure about that. I think I'm in the like 24-25% range, but I'm going to jump over to another tab here, which happens to be an adult BMI calculator, and then live on the screen I'll probably be embarrassed or wrong, but I am 6 feet. Well, basically 6 feet even now. I used to claim to be 6'1", but I've shrunk or something. So I'm 6 feet even, and I weigh about 190 pounds. So let's hit calculate on here and see what we have. It tells me that my BMI is 25.8%, and so I'm overweight. Go figure. I'm overweight. I don't feel overweight. Yeah, I do. I feel overweight, but I don't feel obese or anything. But as you can see by their calculations here, yes, I'm in the overweight category. So I'm going to go back over here to the COVID-19 predictor and fill that out. I'm going to just round it to 26. That probably will not help my feelings any, but I'll do it. We'll round that up to 26. Last thing it wants is my zip code. I guess it's trying to determine, what the ongoing risk is right now in my area. I don't know what that's about, but 36268 is my zip code. And as far as symptoms and risk, let's see what we have. Right now in my family, thankfully we don't have any of that. Now my daughter's not feeling well, so I'm going to put it down as, we'll just say she's got flu-like symptoms. No, wait a minute, I don't have to do that. That's just very general. I don't see any of these others. But I'm going to put down flu-like symptoms. Now, she doesn't even live in my household, but just for the sake of seeing how this thing works, I'll click that, flu-like symptoms. Comorbidities, what about me? Well, I have a transplant history. That's the first thing I have to admit. That's my comorbidity, I guess. I don't see any others that apply right off the bat here. Pneumococcal vaccine. Have I gotten a pneumonia vaccine? Yes. Flu vaccine? Yes. Pre-testing medications. Now, I'm not taking anything on the list right now. I don't take anything like that. I do have immunosuppressive treatment. Yeah, I do have to put that down, don't I? So immunosuppressive treatment. Now, I just really jump over here. Let me see if it's where I can find the calculate button. Here's calculator. So here it is. Drum roll, please. And it says I am at a 10.3% risk probability of testing positive for COVID. So I guess that's not as bad as I thought it might be, but 10.3% risk. Now, what should you do with this result? I don't know that you should do anything, really. I think as transplant patients, we're already probably being hyper aware of our situation. We're probably already, looking for the common symptoms of any illness, sore throats, headaches, runny nose, fevers, particularly. We're already looking for all those types of things. And if you know the symptoms of COVID and the different variants, you're probably looking for those as well. So I don't know that we should do anything differently other than I would assume if I looked at this probability here on the screen and it said I was like 70% probability. I don't know. I guess personally, I'd probably go lock myself in a hole somewhere and wrap up in a blanket. I don't know. I don't really know what I would do, but 10.3%. I'm actually very pleased with that. Now, one thing I want to add to this, and I'm not trying to take away from the calculator. I certainly wanted you to see it, but one thing I want to add to this is even though it had you to put in your zip code, I'm not exactly sure why it's doing that, other than maybe just to see where people are looking into this. Maybe it's trying to quantitate where you are as your risk. You're probably more risk in New York City than this place or that. But me personally, I live in a very, very small country town, less than 1,800 people. Other than going to church, I basically don't see anybody. We go into local stores. You may walk down aisles and aisles and cross two people, and they're at a distance and, maybe mask up, whatever. So I don't know if my risk is really attributed to this zip code. I don't know if they have any way of really knowing my true risk, but 10.3%, I'm actually pleased with that. So again, I'll link the things here in the description below so you can go over again the first tab there, the first of its kind. This is kind of the main page where you can read up on this, consult QD. The second one being the actual calculator itself, which there mine is. I gave all my information away. And if you don't know your BMI, this BMI calculator I think is put out, by the Centers for Disease Control. So all very reliable websites where you don't have to worry about anything, as well as, very informational type situations, whether it be the Cleavland Clinic or the CDC, whatever. Go ahead and check it out. I think it'd be good to at least evaluate your risk. If nothing more, it can be something we can talk about in the description below. So if you don't mind sharing that, if you go over and do the calculator, please comment below. Tell me what it came up and claimed your risk was for that. And maybe we can kind of Maybe we can kind of qualify or put together our own numbers among us as transplant patients. So yeah, it would be really enjoyable to do that. I hope this helps you out. Go ahead and check it out. Until next time, please stay stronger, friends.